Another day, another load of variants. This time, we're going to be playing as the iconic Garden Warfare character, Neo Squash. They're really just putting anyone in this game at this point. What is so Neo about this squash? It's smaller and more compact. It can shoot green EM peaches that stick to the ground and blow up. And it has an entirely new set of abilities, such as Atomic Nuke Cuke Slice. Fire off a small disc that lands on the ground. If you or another plant touches it, you get a speed boost, and after a few seconds it will detonate. Warp Speed Squash Smash. Begin emanating an ominous foreboding hum. Fly around and then slam down and kill people. And finally, Armageddon. At one point in my life, I decided to give Squash a giant fucking death ray and refused to elaborate. So this character has a splash damage weapon, a throwable object that explodes after a few seconds, a mounted turret ability that deals massive amounts of damage, and an ability that lets you float around and move faster. This is just Pea Shooter if he was fat and shit. Bean Bomb, but it deals 75 damage and doesn't move. P Gatling, but you can't exit from it until it's done. Hyper, but you can't move along the Y-axis. Also, a Hypno Shroom just shows up for some reason and dies. Anyway, Frosty Creek, and due to the fact that I recorded this around Easter, I decided to get into the festive spirit and spawn such useful units such as Basket Choy, and whatever the hell this thing is. I like how the death ray blares like 5 sirens at once when you use it, really warning the zombies to seek immediate shelter. PopCap should make Squash do this in the tower defense games.
David, I will send huge waves of zombies. Wibby wobble.
After crushing a conehead to death, Squash chases after a surrendering, unarmed browncoat and beheads him. After an elite spawns in, it becomes evident that Squash fucking sucks. His primary weapon only does 30 damage, and the splash damage is pitiful. The only way this thing can deal damage is with the giant fuck-off laser. Now don't get me wrong, that certainly deals damage. It's just that when you use it, you're basically just a giant neon sign that says, please unload all of your bullets into my huge, rotund, impossible to miss body. So that happens quite frequently, which is bad as it appears I only have 3 self-revives. On wave 4, Squash gets blinded with gas and that same guy spawns again. Major missile, more like major disappointment. Wave 5 spawns 2 elites and a Yeti. One of the elites is a hover goat. There's also this obnoxious imp elite that spams gravity grenades every 2 seconds.
Oh no, it's alright, I didn't want to move anyway.
The hover goat turns around and Squash instantly disintegrates and we lose. Fuck's sake. Next time goes about as well as putting all your silverware in a microwave. First it spawns Phony Baloney, who you might remember has the ability of activating a powerful legendary mode on every single enemy on the map. Then the Yeti appears, does his patented little jig, and then runs at Neo Squash and kills him. Great omen for the other 3 rounds we have to play. After spending the next 5 minutes farming self-revives, I thought I bought the wondrous pack of greatness, not the nothing pack of fuck all. Next variant is the Neo Spooky Squash. 150 health. Why does it have less health than a Chomper? This thing has 800,000 hit points in the normal game, and the best you could do was 150. Anyway, the Spooky Squash is a fire variant, and much like how Neo Squash was Pea Shooter but shit, the Neo Spooky Squash is Fire Pea, but horrifically broken, because every time you land a direct hit with this thing, it gradually fills up a meter called the Spooky Boost, that not only removes all vision from the entire left side of the screen, but also increases your damage. This stacks with the big laser. Also, if you spam the zoom button, he begins spitting straight facts. You might not agree with his views, but you've got to agree with his style. Anyway, we go to the center of aquatics. How fitting. And after running around the map chasing these stupid yellow rings, we have to fight ice characters. How fun! Well, there goes all my allies. These lightning reeds are all I need. Took out like 3 zombies at once. Wouldn't expect anything like that from the bunny boo shoot. Oh boy, more ice characters! Yay! Wave 7 and yeah, Ted T-Tech. Always punctual. If they ever make a Garden Warfare 3, they should add Ted T-Tech to it. It would be amazing. Really had places to be. After an uneventful wave 8 and 9, we fight the disco zombie again, who is positioned behind a metal bar for some reason. We've all got to earn a living somehow. Boney Baloney rears his stupid triangular spectacles once again, but is no match for death in energy form. Sadly, the disco zombie counters my death ray with death. Disco Zombie then decides to spawn 3 elite backup dancers, which end up slaughtering my entire team. How incredible. However, I am too good at the game for these mindless robot AI, and I ambush one of them around a corner. Imagine just turning a corner just to get the full frontal blast of a giant blue laser. Average jog in the southwest of England. The Disco Zombie then dies, and we manage to escape. One second left. There was 1 second left, and we would have won. You orange oaf! Banished to the orange question mark pile. Next variant is the Neo Winter Squash. Many know him as the Big Chill, so hopefully the heat death of the universe will be able to secure 1 win for this abhorrence of kit design. So what is the gimmick of the Big Chill? Ice variant that shoots in a burst of 2. Okay guys, what if we took the Sun Pharaoh character, put it in a fridge, make it green, make it put on 100 kilograms of lard? There you have it, Neo Winter Squash. We travel to the humble and familiar Lunar Landing Objective B for like the 5th time and 44 damage per burst. This thing is just better than the normal variant, like objectively. What did that guy do to warrant a full blast of the Squash Ray? All seems well for the next few waves until the admin appears. Neo Winter Squash got fail RPing and dragged into a mod meet. The admin metamorphosizes into a glowing bald engineer and... Damn, I could just freeze it. It was really funny. After impaling the admin in the crotch with a pulsating disc, he dies. The boss wave is pretty easy, just your bog standard Baron von Betz and 2 unproblematic elites. Also, this squash stands over the corpse of a dead ally, refusing to revive it or letting me even get there to revive them, and just lets them die. After probably the most unnecessary usage of an ability ever, we face an army of electric characters, which goes not very well, and one of my allies just refuses to be revived at all, just does not want to come back to this world. After a visit from Captain Frostbite, just give it a rest, man. Should be put in a tumble dryer with how washed this man is. Like he just starts staring at a sofa. Please seek help. After a squash stares at a pile of gold and money and contemplates stealing it all and buying a condo in Belize, but decides that the greed will get him nowhere in the end and leaves, we fight the Yeti. I have nothing to say about this entire fight, so I'm just gonna play a clip of the squash laser failing to function properly and just lightly scorching one of those horrid Arctic troopers with 3 damage. I don't understand why this keeps happening. Anyway, after like 10 whole minutes of this, we win and go to the landing site. Finally, a single win for the Neo Squash class. I like how they just all stack on top of each other like the Goombas in Super Mario 3D Land. The final variant is the post-Neo Squash. What, does he fire parcels at zombies? Post-Neo Squash comes from not so far in the future, where the atmosphere has become inhospitable and gained the toxic element. Global warming deniers in shambles when the squashes start firing off toxic pellets. Why is his weapon called the Societal Spit? Can't believe we got the Joker in Garden Warfare 2. Anyway, the Societal Spit is actually kind of decent. It does like 60 damage if you land all the pellets, which is all well and good, but it does just kind of make this a worse version of the Scientist who only has to land 1 shot to deal like 70 damage. But beggars can't be choosers, and at this point, I'm begging for anything good. Off we go to Zen Peak. Every time this thing reloads, it sounds like an old person sneezing. Is he just launching phlegm at people? Nothing happens until wave 4, where the admin tries to permaban the squashes, but gets killed before he even gets the chance to turn into the big engineer. This is a metaphor for how society puts down the humble and hardworking Reddit moderator. However, the admin gets the last laugh as he hits the squash with a permanent mute, shutting off the game audio. After silently being shotgunned in the ass by a scientist, Wave 7 spawns the Weed Whackers. Why is this here? There is nothing about this warped engineer that evokes a sense of whacking weeds. Wave 9 and its reinforced boots, getting some of the old classics in this run, such as that one robo soldier that has the damage taken by everything. What joy. Speaking of joy, it's the Yeti again, now in complete agonizing silence. I decide to sit up here and try and slowly pick off the Yeti, but sniping with what is essentially a shotgun is not the best idea. After being frozen multiple times, we unsurprisingly kill the Yeti and win the game. 50% win rate for the squash class. Not abysmal, but also not good. Anyway, thus ends another episode of the Loads of Variants Ops series. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button, or you will get your flesh eviscerated by the squash's death ray. Also, you could show your support in a different way. Throw me £2, buy me membership. Could buy a can of Pringles with that. Wait, I can't even do that. This economy has gone to ruin.